Hi everyone and welcome back. Mindy with Mindy Eggen Design, and today I'm sharing a card I created with a new stamp set from Simon Says Stamped You Are Loved release, and this stamp set is Moments of Grace. So the first thing I want to start off with is creating a background for my card. I am going to be ink blending on Bristol Smooth Cardstock, and I'm starting off with antique linen. Then I'm going to come in with peacock feathers, and I'm doing just a really light layer. I wanted to keep this card really soft and cool colors. I didn't want anything real bold and striking. Then the third color I'm going to come in with is the Mermaid Lagoon Distress Oxide ink, and I'm applying that color towards the bottom, and I'm just going to lightly go up and blend into the peacock feathers. And then I'll just go back over these with my jumbo daubers and soften up those lines so it isn't such a hard distinction between all of the colors. Once that is done, I am going to be using the DEBRA die from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm also going to be die cutting this out of some white glitter cardstock. I will run this back through my die cutting machine a few times to make sure this gives a really good die cut image, and it did cut out perfectly. So I removed all the inside pieces with a piercing tool, just poked out the insides, and then I'm trimming off the edges. You could line this up to be a complete card front, but I just wanted the design, so I'm just trimming along the border. And I had already gone ahead and trimmed my ink blended piece down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to attach this design onto that ink blended panel with some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. I went all the way around the outside edge, and then also some dabs in the middle, and then I just pushed that down really well. I kind of just went around with my fingers and dabbed up any excess glue that had seeped out a little bit, and then trimmed off some of the edges that were poking off, and I just trimmed them up with my scissors. And now I'm going to attach this to a white card base. This is an A2 size card base, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm just going to use the Thermal Web tape runner to attach this. And then I'll have a nice white border around the edge. This is the Moments of Grace stamp set. It is gorgeous. It is a very large stamp set. It has tons of very beautiful and heartfelt sentiments. These are the types of cards I'm sure we don't like to make, but this is when they are most needed, is during these times of sadness, when someone passes away. And unfortunately, I actually do need this card right now for someone in my life. So this was a perfect timing for this release. And like I said, these sentiments are just absolutely gorgeous. There's so many of them on here. So I'm just stamping one of these on here. It says, "You may find comfort," or I'm sorry, "May you find comfort during this difficult time." And then I'm going to use the sentiment label die to die cut that strip out, and this just gives a really nice clean border around the edges. So I'm going to take that strip and just attach some foam tape behind it. This is just to give a little bit of dimension to the front of the card. And using the grid on my black mat that I have here, I'm going to make sure this lines up straight. So I'm straightening off with the white lines on my mat and lining that up. And then I can just push that down and adhere that to the front of the card. For a little bit of sparkle, I'm adding some of the Assorted Moonshine Sequence Assortment pack, and I'm using my tweezers and the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to attach those. So I just did 3 of them there around the sentiment to kind of focus on that sentiment. Next, I'm taking, this is a panel from Gina K Designs. You can purchase these where it's a strip, and all you have to do is score them. I love these pre-cut card bases. These are so handy to have on hand. So I just used my bone folder to crease that edge. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to stamp on the inside of this card. Since there are so many beautiful sentiments in here, I just wanted to have a sentiment in the inside. My sentiment that I'm stamping says, "Those we loved never go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near, still loved, still missed, and forever dear." So that is just simply gorgeous and very heartfelt, hopefully very comforting to the person that will receive this card. So I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, and my Misty tool to stamp that. You can see I just laid my card base right in my Misty, inking that up twice to get a really good impression. And there are also some images on this stamp set. So I had decided I was going to use the butterflies. I thought that was just a really nice soft touch to the inside. So I'm just taking one of those, putting them in the top corner, and I'm going to take the other one and just place that down in the bottom. And then using some Gina K Designs Sandy Beach ink, I'm going to stamp these around that sentiment. This is just a really nice light colored ink if you wanted a soft touch to something. And I do stamp these twice, and once it dries, it does set back a little bit, so it doesn't look as stark of a brown. So that color will set back a little bit. So now that the sentiment is ready on the inside, I'm going to go ahead and attach my panel to the front of the card, and that is going to complete this card. I will have all the supplies listed down below in my video description and also on my blog as well. Be sure to check out all of the other amazing products that are released during the You Are Loved release from Simon Says Stamp. This is definitely a must-have stamp set in your collection because there's just so much you can get out of it. I'm also going to be sharing at the end of this video another card I created using a sentiment from the stamp set, so be sure to hang around and check that out. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you did like the video, I would really appreciate a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.